Welcome into Sports Idiot Nation. Today is Friday, May 1st, and that means it's time to check in on the working conditions at JPMorgan, and we'll tell you why you need only 12 seconds to check in on Major League Baseball, and we'll talk all things NBA playoffs and tell you who to choose if you're getting on the sticks playing Madden this year.
Sports, comedy, pop culture, and everything in between by idiots for idiots.
This is Sports Idiot Nation.
Sports, comedy, pop culture, and everything in between. Welcome back, sinners. This is Season 2 of Sports Idiot Nation.
Mayday, Mayday. Welcome in. Today is May 1st, and we are here, Sports Idiot Nation, for you on this fabulous Friday. Big show. Sometimes we lie and say we have a good show. Today, truly, I don't think we're lying, T.I., because I want to start by asking you.
Big show. Cannons.
I want to.
Big cannons on this show. Big cannons.
Speaking of, I wanted to ask you how your interview went with JPMorgan. I know they had a job opening, so I just wondered how that went for you.
They did. You know, my initial screening went fantastic. They moved me into the second and third round, brought me in.
Did anyone grab your calf?
We interviewed with some woman named like Lorna, I think, or like Lorna.
Run, boy, run.
Something like that. She said I really wasn't her type. Not brown enough, not little enough.
Yikes. So
just really wasn't her
right.
type. She was a fan of my calves, but she just didn't think that I had any kind of long-term, any longevity there at the company outside of just pencil pushing. So, we decided to go separate ways. Mutual agreement, of course. Mutual agreement.
Because of your fish head wife. Dude,
yes.
This story is beyond, like, this is so
Yes.
Sports Idiot Nation. Like, for those that make content, us and Drew over at the Sports Memory, we got to get into this. So this chick, if the last 2 minutes was awkward for you and you had no idea what was happening, stay tuned. We will fill you in. So this chick, and I want to make sure I have this story straight. This is bizarre. Lorna Hajini. I don't know if I'm saying it right because it's spelled Hajdini. So Hajini, I think. And she was an executive at JPMorgan, and supposedly, now you can Google image her. Go ahead, you can pause us right now, take some time. She's worth a look, I suppose. So she is not ugly by any means. But this is not a classic
She's ugly on the inside,
teacher.
Adam. She's ugly on the inside, Adam.
Yeah.
She's ugly on the
for
inside.
calling a guy a brown boy Indian. Yeah. But this isn't your classic, like, the high school teacher, the pretty English teacher slept with a, 10th grader or something. This isn't one of those stories. So she basically made this guy who supposedly was Indian or brown or something. And I say supposedly because that's what it keeps saying that she calls this guy. A junior staffer, brown boy. She would call him names and made him do all kinds of stuff, sexual stuff. He's crying. She's saying, "Oh, stop crying. I gotta be better than your fish head wife." Like, dude, like, just bizarre. And I gotta give a shout out to Drew over at the Sports Memory. He has been on this very program before, but he is crushing it on social media because yesterday, as this story is kind of unfolding, supposedly she got naked and said that no way your fish head wife has cannons like this. Supposedly. And so he's if you go to the Sports Memory, I'm looking this up. She said the Tampa Bay Buccaneers just rushed out a new ad for the upcoming season aimed at convincing prospective fans to abandon their fish-faced wives and commit hard to life as season ticket holders. And there's a picture of her and it says fire them cannons. And that is just because that is kind of the slogan, fire the cannons, for the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. So he just
I feel bad for all the fish head wives. I mean, all the fish head wives out there didn't do anything. They didn't deserve to be brought into this. Now all the fish head wives have been brought into it.
Just unbelievable. And like, it hasn't even been a full 48 hours, and these memes have been pretty good. I just, this is bizarre, man.
I think I know a alcoholic box wine drinker when I see one, and she's got it
Right
written
out the
all
box.
over her. Yeah, poor guy, man. He's crying, and she's yelling at him because he can't get an erection. While she's insulting his fish head wife. Just tough times all around, man. Tough times all around. Hope they can work out their relationship, whatever kind of relationship it is, and however it started. But good luck to you out there, JPMorgan and Chase, JP Chase, whoever I interviewed with this past week. Good luck to you on your hire.
Very bizarre. Then moving on to the next post from Drew at the Sports Memory, the Patriots just signed a new relative unknown. In unrelated news, Mike Vrabel just announced another special counseling session on Saturday as the Patriots signed Lorna Hagini. And it's got like the official alert and it's just so solid. There's Robert Kraft in the background. Like, just the chef's kiss, man. Like, to Sports Memory.
Robert Kraft would like to fire those cannons.
Yeah. Yep. I would assume
he's
absolutely.
He likes he likes some Little and Brown as well. So they have a lot in common. They would get along really well. But hey, man, it's the world we live in today. You can't do crazy shit like that and get away with it. Come on, man. Look at the Coldplay concert fiasco. This isn't the 80s. You can't do dumb shit and think people aren't going to find out about it.
So we talked about the Bucks and the Patriots. I want to move to the Ravens real quick because this is not a meme. This is real. I think I want to ask you if you've heard otherwise, but Diego, ya boy, signed
Yarglo, Diego, ooh, I wanna take you
to Baltimore. Yeah. So the Ravens, I don't. Is
Maryland,
this like
mama.
what kind of shenanigans is this? Like, what is the point of signing?
I don't know. I mean, this isn't like a Tim Tebow situation. This doesn't like sell tickets.
It's like the opposite.
The thing that's interesting to me is it's a new coach. So maybe he sees something in him. He's like, let's get him in here, see if I can work with him, see if I can iron out some mechanics, see what I can do with him, and then, no harm, no foul. I mean, I don't know, man. That's all I can think. But I mean, shout out to Diego. I mean, he got a NFL deal before any other quarterback in the draft. So, he was already inking his name on a deal before anybody, no matter what that deal is. And at least he didn't have to go play in Toronto or Arlington, or not Arlington,
like the Juggernauts or whoever.
Yeah, one of the CFL teams. I mean, good luck to you, Diego, and you're a rat bird now. Which is going to be a little troublesome for your Vanderbilt fans because now they have to root against you because they're Titans fans. I would assume most of them are. Unless they're all becoming Baltimore fans now, it would be some dumb shit some Titans fans would do.
Yeah,
But but yeah, it's such a weird thing. I don't know. I mean, it's definitely not a publicity stunt because there's no publicity with it. So there's some motive behind it.
yeah. So before we jump to all the other sports, I want to stick with the NFL, and I want to look at based on the way too early. This is the way too early portion, but top 5 rosters if you are playing Madden. So just roster alone.
If I'm playing Madden,
Yeah.
okay.
Based on the rookies that have been selected, the players that as of right now are coming back to the teams, hey, who knows? You may say Minnesota is on your list because you have Kyler Murray out there running around fast and then heaving it to JJ. That could be a top 5. I don't know. I don't know how you get on the sticks. So
Mhm.
I'll ask you, who are your top 5 rosters as they're situated right now?
Oh, from Madden, man. I didn't know we were going to be talking about something like this. We could have got pal Buddha on, which we will have sometime soon to get on and talk about Madden. But
Well, I'm going to ask him
top
the very same question for sure.
top 5 rosters for Madden. Okay, number 1. Even with them losing, the running back, I still say Seattle for sure. Niners. I mean, the NFC West. I mean, God, just staying out there. The Rams, just all 3 of those lineups. I mean, you kidding me?
Already right
Those
there.
are.
Yeah.
I mean, we're talking about Madden here. I'm not. I mean, don't get me wrong. There's defenses in the AFC that I think would still be great battles, but we're trying to score 100 points, man.
Yeah.
So
sure.
2 more. Who else would I throw out there? I mean, again, Madden, Ravens, for sure. Because I mean, it doesn't really matter. Lamar Jackson.
You can hike the ball and just run to the right or run to the left, like I did with Troy Smith.
Probably. I mean, if we're just playing Madden alone, God, it's probably gonna be a toss up between the Chargers or the Chiefs. Just because Mahomes is gonna do Mahomes stuff. Chargers got an electric offense. So those would be my top 5 Madden.
Chiefs had a decent draft too. Yeah.
Yeah, man. That's what I would say.
Not bad. I'm gonna say the top 3 teams in the NFC West, like you said, though. I mean, just roster wise, they are that good. I hate to admit that I like what the Rams did on defense with grabbing some of those defensive players in the offseason, not even in the draft, but just grabbing these dudes from the Chiefs and whatnot. Obviously CMC with the Niners, Smith and Jigba, and the Seahawks defense should be still decent. Now, talking defense, I'm going to say a very weird one that I won't see your eyes roll as you're wearing sunglasses, but a team that, based on playing Madden, first of all, I can control their quarterback and he's not going to fumble 5 times or throw 3 picks. And the defense would be sick. And that's Houston. I would like to play with Houston's roster. Give me that defense, Will Anderson. Let me take control of Will Anderson, and I will just go ball hawk and just figure it out and let the other guys on defense do their thing too. And I think that would be fun. And then let me take control of CJ Stroud. I will not screw up as bad as what CJ Stroud himself would screw up. So I'll put Houston in there just for, again, the fun of playing Madden. And then I will probably take, I was thinking the Ravens too, just because you could bowl over people with the running back. You can run around people with the quarterback. And then on defense, you what's fun with the Ravens defense is I know they weren't all that great last year, but there's really good players that you could grab. They just got Calais Campbell back too. Did you see that? Just yesterday, I think. So Calais Campbell's
I
playing one
mean,
more season. And he was, dude, I know we may hate on it, but
still
dude, he was
good.
good last year with Arizona. He was really good.
Yeah, he's
Like, that's
fine.
kind of
He's fine.
crazy.
He's fine.
That's
He's fine.
for playing as many, I think it's like 15, 18 years. It's crazy. So yeah, I guess I would say the Ravens.
Yeah, for sure.
That's
Well,
it's tough to say.
You got one. You got one more though. No, you don't. You said Houston. I'm sorry. You said Houston.
Yeah,
as
yeah.
well.
Houston and then the Ravens and then the 3 in the NFC West. What did you think of
Whose roster are you not playing with? The one roster, the absolute worst roster. Who are you not playing with?
I like that out of you. I like that out of you.
Ooh. Ooh.
New Orleans came to mind, and then
No, that's not bad. It's not bad.
Man, who did someone come to mind for you?
Who comes to mind for me? I would say if I am going to pick the worst offense in Madden currently, it's got to be between New York or Cleveland.
Let's see.
Cleveland
has a good running back, and Shador.
I mean,
you're taking control of Shador.
So does New York, but they don't have their quarterback is what's his face going to be the dude from Clemson, Klubnik. So yeah, I'm going to say the Jets. I mean, yeah, they got Breece Hall, but
I would say the Steelers probably wouldn't be that fun to use either.
They'd be pretty boring. Pretty boring.
That would be really. There's no playmakers. Like it's just not. It wouldn't be fun. But yeah, the Aints are pretty bad. Man.
Yeah, but I think they're better. I think they're getting together. Tyler Shutt, whatever.
Yeah, they will be better, but they're just on Madden with the roster. There's nothing exciting. I'd be like, let me repick. I think on that.
Oh, for sure. For sure.
What do you think of the Steelers? So the Steelers brass came out and said, well, we actually thought that Aaron Rodgers would have told us by now. We hope in the next 2 weeks. Bro, 2 weeks? It's May. Like, we're going to hit June soon. You don't know if Aaron Rodgers, like, was he in the Cave of Wonders again? What is happening? Like,
he's coming back. He's coming back. And he's going to just give
I think so, too.
McCarthy one run. Him and McCarthy know each other well. He knows the system. McCarthy's he's trying to help him settle in. Yeah, he's help him settle in. Give him one run, see how they do. If it's a wash, then hey man, I'm out of here. If they do well, and they make a run, then maybe he comes back for one more. Maybe he comes back for 2 more seasons. But I think if he was going to retire, he would already told him. We would already know. He does this every year. He doesn't want to go to any camp. He doesn't want to do anything he doesn't have to do. He's not contractually obligated to do. He's not going to do it. And then even if he is obligated, he's still not going to do it, as we've seen in the past. So, but hey, man, that's why he's Aaron Rodgers.
Power to him. Right? He's got the money. He's got the wife, supposedly. All right.
Guy I used to work with used to say, he who has the gold makes the rules. Yes, and that's Aaron Rodgers.
Yep. And they just have to eat it. So, all right, let us shift to baseball for 8.9 seconds because there's only one thing. We are in May, and there's one thing worth discussing as the worst team in the NL West is my Giants at 13-18. The worst team in the NL East is 10-21, the Mets. The worst team The Red Sox, they got rid of their guys, all their guys, right? They're 12-19. The Royals are 12-19, and the Angels and Astros are both 12-20. So those are all the bad teams. And then if you notice,
The team
skipped
watch.
over. Yeah, I skipped over the NL Central. Now this is bizarre. The Reds, first of all, the Reds. Like, give it 5 seconds, I'm
Yeah.
sure, and they'll suck.
The
Miles would say.
Big red machine. Big red machine.
Big Red
Kane.
Machine.
Kane himself. Kane
Yep.
himself. Cincinnati
20-11. The Cubs, who have been on a tear lately, they are 19-12. Your Cardinals, hanging in, absolutely hanging in there. 18-13. The Brew Crew, 2 games over 500 at 16-14. And the Pirates have slipped quite a bit in the last week. They have lost 5 in a row. But before that, that means they were 5 games above 500. They're right at 500. So the NL Central...
Like the Pirates just need to fire them cannons. Sounds like they just need to fire them cannons.
That's all they need to do. So the Cardinals have won 4 in a row. The Brewers have won 1. The Cubs have won 2 in a row. The NL Central is a bit nutty.
Watch out, boys and girls.
1st, let's see how it goes. It's as of May 1st, every team is good. So we'll see how that goes. Just something to keep your eye on. Same thing to keep your eye on. Rafael Devers, huge player, came over from Boston to my Giants, leads the league in worst OPS at like 530. 530 percentage for OPS, the worst in Major League Baseball for per.
He also leads the league for name that sounds most likely to be a tennis player.
Rafael Devers, yeah. Good backhand by Devers, playing Pete Sampras' son. Pete Sampras' son, John.
Pete would name his son John.
Sampras, right? I just made that up, but it sounded good.
Hi, my name is Pete. This is my son John. It's my other son. My other son Bill. My other son Bill. I also have a son named Steve. Oh, it's a beautiful family, Pete.
Beautiful
when
made-up family.
Pete, when Pete is the most exotic name of the family, you're
exactly
pretty much fucked,
Not Peter. All right, I think we're ready now to jump to NBA because this is wild. First, I want to start here because I did some math.
What makes you?
I don't know
what makes
how
you
many
think
times
the derailed tennis conversation is a segue into NBA, but
into math. But here we are. So if you add up last night's game and then 2 nights ago, if you were to add those points up, the New York Knicks have outscored the Atlanta Hawks by exactly 80 points in 2 games.
I mean,
that is I don't know if I've seen that.
I have to give a shout out to the Atlanta Hawks for being men about it and not unplugging their Xbox controller and finishing out the game. Out the game.
140 to 89. 140 to 89. That doesn't even tell
the tale. I mean, at one point it was like 70 something to 22 or something.
Yeah. And then 140 to 89, and then the other score was 126 to 97. So in both instances, the winning team scored more than 125 points and the losing team scored less than 100. That is just absolutely a beatdown. I mean, ouch.
That's what Atlanta gets for turning their backs on the strip clubs.
It all went downhill. I mean, they did win 2 games, and everyone was like, "Oh, the Knicks!" Like this is what the series this is what the series was supposed to be. Like, the Knicks were
The
a good
point
team
of
this
it being
year.
a series. I mean, that's the whole point of a series, right? That's the whole
So
point of why we play a series.
yeah, the Knicks were 24-18. 24-18 against really good teams this year. That's pretty good. They are a really good NBA team. But
Pretty
my
good.
God, I just could not believe you just do one of one of these things. And I love how we posted, again, follow us wherever you get your social media if you want a good belly laugh, because we're like, oh, live looking. And it's like you said, it's like, oh, it's 70-20 in like the first end of the first quarter or something like that. Something bizarre. I joke,
You're like,
but only a
oh
little. I'm
man.
only off by a little bit in my joke. Like, it wasn't that
I
far off from
mean,
that.
what about like, there's some kid out there that's like, dad's like, hey buddy, I got us playoff Hawks tickets tonight. We're going to
Dude,
see
that's
our
so funny
Hawks,
that you said that.
baby.
That's so funny that you said that. I was
And
I was
he's
at
like,
the bar with
yeah. And then
someone,
he's 5 minutes
dude.
into it, he's just like, oh,
Well,
this
son, do you want
sucks,
to beat the traffic? Yeah, like that's so funny that you said that. I was talking to a buddy at the bar and I was like, dude, you almost at this point feel bad for like the regular family man who just, this could have been someone's first game. You're like, we're at home. We're going to send this series back to New York. We're going to show them we're not done yet. You ready to go, son? Oh yeah, dad, I'm putting on my coat. I'm putting on my Hawks jacket. I got my Dominique Wilkins jersey or my Trey. Maybe some people still have their Trey jersey. And it's like, all right, we got to get there. There's going to be traffic. We got to get there early. All right, let's get our food. Like, gosh, dude.
Yeah, let's go spend $100 on 3 hot dogs and
On a
some.
51-point game. Well,
Yeah.
let's hope we hold them to 50 tonight. Nope, they didn't. What do you mean they didn't? No, it's 51. like, can you
Yeah.
imagine like the betting odds? Oh, I hope they beat him by 50. Oh, whatever, dude. They won't beat him by 50. Come on. Nope, 51. Just unbelievable
Pathetic.
to be in
Pathetic.
Atlanta. In Atlanta is
But that's all right, Atlanta, because you got Angel Reese now in town, so
oh
you're gonna be the second. You're gonna be the second most popular attraction in Atlanta.
man, that again, follow us on social media because we shared like she's so intense. Like she'd win the Try Hard award. She's like gets down, she crosses over someone, and then the girl just like
She
literally just goes like
try
that and like
harder.
palms the ball.
She should
She just
win the
palms the
Try
ball.
Harder award. She should win the Try Harder award.
Yeah. Just like it was like a sixth grader going against an adult. Like Angel Reese just put it up like a sixth grader, and the adult just went like that and just like palmed the ball like over.
Yeah, she's like, wait for it, wait for it, wait for it,
yeah.
and right there. Nope, no, thank you. No time for that. You need to go back and work on your skills. But yeah, man. Angel Reese. Yeah, her game's great. If the game was only about getting rebounds, that she would be a great player. She'd be a fantastic
Your own
player.
rebounds. Your own.
Yeah.
If the game was about getting your own, she'd be an all-star. Just Hall of Fame. Actually,
Yeah, if it was like
there would be talk Hall of Fame.
Yeah, if it was like
No
pop a shot, where you get scored like arcade basketball score. She got like 2 points for each offensive rebound of her own shot. She would be a high scorer. She would be a high scorer for sure.
So I have.
But anyway, no sense of talking about fake basketball. Let's get back to real basketball.
Yeah. And let's talk about the one time I really go completely out of my way, and I mean half the episode. I feel like I went out of my way to talk about LeBron and to like pay homage to LeBron and give him props, and he's playing like a new man and He's out there, the leading scorer in the game, and not turning it over. Why didn't I shut my mouth and just leave it alone? Because now you can just completely bash anything about what I said. The guy looks 50 out there now. Reed Shepard stealing the ball. He's turning it over. He's practically airballing at the end. Completely out of gas. Bryant Reeves isn't helping the situation. He looks terrible. All this without KD. LA, what are we doing? Like, I don't know. I don't know if I would be shocked. And this is the rhetoric that people want. LeBron loses a 3-0 lead to end his career. Could you imagine if they end up losing? I mean, good God. They just had a chance and completely blew it. Now they're playing tonight in Houston. And if they lose that, you talk about momentum. Like, I gotta give it to Houston if they win tonight. Don't you think if they win tonight, Houston wins the whole thing, wins the series?
Yeah,
I mean,
absolutely. Absolutely. LA has to close it out. LA has to close it out. You know?
in Houston
Come
they
on,
have to do
LeBron.
it because
That's why they pay you. That's why they pay you, LeBron. Come on.
come on, man. Like, you can't do that. The one time in 20 years that I just put you up on a pedestal and you hit me in the face with a baseball bat is what it feels like. Like, dude,
It's
come
almost like you
on.
got shot in the face with a cannon, you know? Some cannons.
Fire. They gotta fire those cannons. So the Lakers, yeah, they play tonight in Houston. Let's talk about so also last night, Joel Embiid almost got a triple double, 19, 10, and 8. And
It's
don't
amazing
look
what he can
now,
do
but
when he's
here
on the
come the
court.
76ers. Yeah, I mean, he's getting older and slow, and Tyrese Maxey had dropped 30. I mean, dude, the Sixers, Paul George is like an afterthought on the team. He's just there to kind of play some defense. He can still play defense a little bit sometimes, but dude, the Sixers won by double digits. Like, uh-oh, here
I
come the
mean,
Sixers. We got a game
I
7
mean,
now.
Celtics screwing around. Celtics screwing around. Could have closed it out, but here you go. You let the Sixers get back in there, man. You
We
know, you got
have
the
two.
Celtics goofing around. You got Pistons goofing around. You know,
Yeah. The and what's really hurting Orlando, let's go there now. So Orlando not having Wagner, he really changes Orlando's team. He just does. He's a 20 and 10 guy, and when you lose a game by 7 points, which they did on a couple nights ago, that's tough when you don't have that dude. It's like at this point, I am absolutely pulling just for like the good story, the Cinderella. Like I absolutely am going for Orlando at this point, and not having Wagner is really it's like annoying at this point. But they play. They also play tonight, and so the Magic do lead 3-2. Is this another question where, all right, if
yeah.
Detroit
Oh,
does win,
for certain.
is it the same thing as Houston, right?
Yes. Yeah. Absolutely. Orlando has to win this. You can't
And
let Detroit.
it's in Orlando, dude.
I know they can't let Detroit level the playing field. No, not at all. They have to win it. Orlando has to win it.
Yeah. So we'll see. It's just tough because again, Wagner being out. Now Tobias Harris is a game time decision supposedly, and he's kind of a guy like an option that if Cade Cunningham doesn't drop 45, which let's talk about that. So you have both guys we talked about Banchero not like being the guy, and then listen to this stat line. So Paulo 45, 9, 7, and 2, 2 steals. And then Cade Cunningham 45, 4, 5, and 1 steal. 90 points? Really? 90 points between two guys that you would not think would drop 45. That's not their game. And
Yeah.
Pablo was shooting threes. He's not a 3-point shooter. Like, what is happening? Like, you can't assume that's going to happen next game. And so Detroit needs Tobias Harris, I would think. Unless Cade drops 50, then maybe you don't. But that was wild. That stat line was like the East. The East, as we're talking through it, how you said, okay, the Boston's playing with their food a little bit. You know, Cleveland played with their food and held on a couple days ago. Um, they play tonight as well, and that is Cleveland is up 3-2. This game is in Toronto, so advantage Toronto, I think. So we might see a game 7 there as well. If you look at the East as a whole, it's almost like the NCAA tournament where Duke chokes a little bit, like that's Boston, like the team that should win it, and then the up and comer team who had like a really good strong season, that is your Detroit Pistons, but they're not accustomed to being there, and now they play Lehigh, like you know what I mean. And then the Knicks in the first half, they don't play that well, and then all of a sudden they go on like a 50-0 run. You know, Kansas versus Alcorn State. This is like the NCAA tournament. It's wild. The East is just wild. It's fun to watch, but I don't know what's gonna happen. It's just bizarre. Let's see. Who else did we have in the West? Well, we don't have the Spurs or the Thunder, and that's because they pretty much took care of business.
Because they handled
I
their
mean,
business like we said they would.
isn't that interesting that maybe the two best teams in the entire NBA, maybe first of all the Thunder until someone dethrones them and they're the 1 seed. So it's very obvious that they are the number 1 team in the NBA. And then look at the team who actually has a winning record this year by far against them is the Spurs, and they have the alien. They have someone that's not from this planet. And when he's on the court, they are a much different team, as we found out. When he wasn't on the court, they lost. When he was on the court, they won 4-0. So that pretty much tells
Yeah,
you
he's
everything.
he's from he's from that planet where all the Monstars are from, uh, you know, uh,
Yeah, France.
freaking Space
France. That's
Jam.
the we come from
Space
France.
Jam, you know. No, where's the
Go Neds.
Monstars and Space Jam? That's the planet they're from, or the planet Wimby's from.
So it's just interesting that you look at all these teams in the NBA, these playoffs, and the two teams are head and shoulders like over everyone else. And it's just
Oh, hands
it's
down.
crazy to see. So real quick for tonight. So the way it's going down tonight is first Pistons and Magic in Orlando. You have Orlando taking it, or I mean they are the 8th seed, dude. I know they're at Orlando, but who do you actually have winning the game?
I believe in magic. Yes, I do. I don't know any more words to this song, but I believe in
That'll
magic.
do.
I believe in
Yeah.
magic, and you should too.
All right, so you have the Pistons are actually picked to win by 3.5. So you are taking the
Pistons
underdog
are
at home.
Pistons are coming to the putter. They're going
Yeah.
to slow down.
Okay, then later tonight. Now, let me say this. I I remember when, like, in the old days, games, not every game was televised and all this. We've come a long way. Here's one thing that just doesn't make sense to me. Can we get away from the idea that there's a game on at 7 Eastern and then 7:30 Eastern? Either make more money, make the playoffs. You can make the playoffs longer. That's an easy excuse where the Cavs and Raptors would just play tomorrow at 7:30, not tonight at 7:30, and the Pistons and Magic can play at 7, and you can have so that people don't have to miss a single game. Like, I don't understand how we're having. I know it's the first round. I get it. Maybe that's the argument. But in today's world where everything is viewable, don't have it to where I can't watch one of the games unless I have split screen or whatever. The Detroit Orlando game is on um Amazon Prime, and so is, like, they don't do split screen. So that's the one thing, like, I can watch on YouTube TV and do split screen, but as far as I know, you can't do that. So with Amazon Prime, and in some households, if someone's watching the tablet or whatever, you can't even have both games going because you got too many screens. I'm like, we gotta fix this.
I
It
feel
just,
you. I feel your pain. I feel your pain with those first world problems. I do.
I'm just
But
saying, like,
yeah,
can we figure this out? It's already bad enough
dear,
that all 3 games are on
dear
Amazon.
NBA.
So the Lakers and Rockets, yeah, dear NBA. Get it together. All 3 games are on Amazon Prime. First of all, if you don't have Amazon Prime, you're just not watching the NBA playoffs, like, on a Friday. Like, that also just seems messed up. It just does. So, I don't know. All right, and then let's get to um the really, out of all the games last night, the closest one ended up being the Timberwolves and Nuggets. And let's break
For
down
sure.
how that series really went down with all the fights, and there was again last night, and just uh, like, I just felt like Joker ran out of gas with everything. Um it was closer this game. It got away kind of at the end, but this series was weird in that it was super exciting at first, before injuries, before all the stuff happened. You're like, okay, this the Joker, he's won a championship. You got Aaron Gordon still, and um the little guard, what's his name? Oh, I just lost his name. Who's the point guard for Denver? Hold on, I have it here.
Jamal Murray.
Yeah, it's Jamal Murray. Um, Tim Hardaway has some good games sometimes. Cam Johnson, like, okay, good roster, and then Ant and Gobert and Julius Randle and the dude that dropped 40 out of nowhere. No one knows his name. Like, okay, Minnesota, cool. They played over the last, couple years. They've had some good playoff matchups. It's going to be super exciting. And then all the injuries happen. Like, it's not even, like, fun to watch when one of the starting guards tears his Achilles. I know he's not, like, all first team, all NBA or anything, but still, you know, DeCenzo or Diver whatever. Um, he goes out, then Ant bruises his bone in his kneecap or whatever, and that's, you know, done. So he's out for, I know they advance, but, like, how long is he out for? And now playing against the next team, it's like, well, that's not going to go well. It's not even exciting. It's like this turned into the more non-exciting playoff matchup. Like it was so bizarre compared to the East, where you're like,
That
I don't know
happens.
what's happening.
Yeah.
Injuries
I
and
mean, it's the power shift. I mean, West right now is king, obviously, with OKC being the champion, but East has been more fun to watch all season. There's been more parity, so I mean, it's going to be interesting to see if who makes it out of the West, Spurs or OKC, or somebody else. Could be very well be somebody else, but I think it's going to be one of those two.
yeah, yeah. I don't know who the if I'll be mad if the Spurs and Thunder do not link up, and that if it's not exciting, if there's some crazy injury where you're like, oh man, this sucks. It's not even Wimby's out, or like whatever, or if Chet and SGA are out, or something like that. It's like, oh dude, I don't want to watch this. This isn't even gonna be fun, you know. Um, so I don't know. This series with Minnesota and Denver ended up being just not what I wanted, other than going to a hockey game where you're like, well, I hope a fight breaks out. At least I can watch that. And that
There
happened a
were a
few times,
handful
so
of
that was cool.
fights.
Yeah.
Handful of
So,
fights.
oh,
But I mean,
frustrating. That
it's
is the
it
NBA.
could have been close. They could have tied it. They could have. Denver could have pushed them, but yeah, like you said, just didn't have enough. Didn't have enough
Well,
nuggets in them.
it was close, and in the final, whatever it was, like the final 7 or 8 minutes, they only had one field goal. Denver did last night. Like,
Mm,
ugh. Like that's
that's
you can't really. That's
not gonna
detrimental.
work. Not gonna work.
Yeah,
Not gonna
that
work.
is
Hold on,
not
let me
going to
get
work
my
at all.
my calculator here. And nope, not gonna work. Not gonna work.
No.
Not gonna work.
So now the Timberwolves will play the Spurs, and w- with a depleted roster, I don't know if they win two games. I mean, they may get one, because if Julius Randle drops 35 and like Gobert has 15 blocks. Other than that, I don't understand how Minnesota is going to be able to do much. The Spurs roster is that good. They just
Yeah.
are.
No,
I
the Spurs are
mean,
incredible. Spurs are incredible.
yeah,
So
they're fun to
yeah,
watch.
good luck, Minnesota.
Yeah, you're gonna need it. I don't see what's supposed to happen, but what is supposed to happen is you are supposed to follow us wherever you get your social media. And also, a reminder, new episodes of Sports Idiot Nation come to you every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday, which means we will see you Monday. Thank you for watching this episode of Sports Idiot Nation. Remember, we are on all social media and on YouTube, and the podcast can be found on Spotify and Apple Podcast. Remember, new episodes are every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday. And remember, because you watch Sports Idiot Nation,
You would be the smartest idiot in the whole world.